We're looking at two different systems also in the Atlantic. One near the southeast, that was a different one. That's going to move up to the north. And another tropical wave that's moving in from Africa right across and steaming across the middle part of the Atlantic. We'll be looking at that. There's a lot going on, and here to talk to us about it is LSU professor and hurricane climatologist Jill Trepanier. Jill, it is great to see you one more time. You've been on my show a lot of times. I love ribbing you about the LSU Tigers. They're starting out with Clemson, which is my wife's team, by the way. That's coming up at the end of the month.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say, with you on the show, I'm just going to say, go Tigers. So it doesn't, I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
I love that. I don't think she's going to get mad at you. I think that's all right.
Absolutely not. So, Jill, again, thanks for being here. I want to ask you about that thing we were just looking at that's around the Bahamas. I know it's an upper level type low. It's a little bit of vorticity. It doesn't look that big of a deal. But if it does get into the Gulf of America with the warm waters out there, is there any chance we're going to see something develop in the next 5 days?
I think there's always a chance, but the chance is very low. So in this particular situation, the system isn't fully developed, isn't really anything more than a small center of circulation. And as it interacts with a very humid Florida, it still will undergo a bit of shear, and that's going to keep it from actually really organizing itself. So even if it emerges into the Gulf in the next few days, there's a good chance that it's going to stay low in wind speed, perhaps influence things like ocean waves, but then rain, as you mentioned, rain, and more rain. So I think being mindful of that is important.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the possibility of interactions with the Gulf breeze, right? And if you have anything in the upper levels, it's going to make it even more unstable. So that's a look at the Gulf. And like you said, there's always a chance this time of year. Water temperatures are relatively warm for sure. What about the steering flow out there for the Atlantic? It's been interesting to watch these tropical waves come in. Yeah, they're just cloaked with all the Sahara dust, which is drying it out. A lot of shear out there as well. The first wave looks like it moves into the northern Atlantic, but the ones that are behind it, maybe a little farther south. What's going on there?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the major steering mechanisms that controls tropical cyclones in the Atlantic is called the North Atlantic Oscillation. You might have heard of it, or certainly you've talked about it as the Bermuda High. The closer it is, where it shifts closer to the United States, we see more landfalling storms. Right now, we're in a positive phase, really strong pressure gradients. It's going to lead to those faster westerly winds in the mid-Atlantic region, which is going to pull those small systems, big for us, but small for the overall structure, out into that North Atlantic area. So I think we're in a good position to hopefully see more fish hurricanes and less landfalling storms.
Yeah, that's what we're watching right there. But what if those two, what if the big old high-pressure ridge, it begins to connect again, and now we're starting to see that Bermuda High get even stronger? It would push all the next waves a little farther down to the south. Then we have to watch for the East Coast, right?
Absolutely. That's the Caribbean, the East Coast, kind of looking into any possible trajectory into the Gulf. And then that usually leads to a Texas or Louisiana landfall. So certainly being mindful. I mean, it's the time of the season now. It's August. We talked maybe last month about how we didn't have much. I don't think there's going to be much of that conversation going forward. It's going to be more about what's out there and what we're paying attention to.
Yeah, this seems like a hurricane season, Jill, that I saw as a kid growing up. It's like nothing really out there. July, a couple things, and then August, the middle part of August, it starts to pick up, which leads me to the Colorado State University forecast. You saw they just updated it yesterday with no change. What are your thoughts about their forecast for just a slightly above average season still going forward?
I think it's right on the money. We'll see what plays out, but those warm ocean temperatures in some places now a little warmer than average, and then that end zone neutral, it's not restricting any of that major development. So I think they're right on the money there, and it is just beginning, and we've already got, I think, 4 named storms.
Yeah.
So we're moving right along. So I think they're correct. At least we'll see.
And you saw Dexter. Right now it's extratropical. Did you see how it's getting interaction with the upper level jet? I mean, how cool is that when it goes from tropical to subtropical, but actually the wind field expands, it gets stronger?
That's incredible, right? When we see these storms effectively kind of transition or turn into something else, it's one of the things that I teach a lot about because it's questionable why some storms do it and some don't. So yeah, Dexter's been kind of wild to watch. It's always crazy when they just start flying through the atmosphere, moving quick like that.
Yeah, it's so cool. So Dr. Jill, I really appreciate you coming on the show one more time for us. Even though you're at LSU, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just totally joking with you.
You got it.
But great. Good luck to you for the football season for sure. And I'd love to talk to you again a little bit later on in the season when we have some more things popping out there.
Yeah, you got it. It's good to talk to you about that.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you again.